trying to get something out of someone or you want someone to do something with you or for you, one of the easiest things you can do is the door in the face technique. This is where before you ask someone what you're really wanting, you start with a more presumptuous, more aggressive request so that the second one seems less extreme and it seems like you're compromising. So if you want someone to come to an event with you on a Friday night, you could start by asking them, hey, are you able to come with me on this weekend trip? It's going to be about $1,000. You know that they'll come back with, no, I don't think I can do that. I'm sorry. Say, oh, okay, no worries. How about you just come with me to this event on Friday? They're much more inclined to say yes.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
Okay, woman, allow me to put this into perspective from a man who's actually sane. If you need to take a manipulation tactic and then try to make it sound like a brain hack to trick someone into doing something with you, then you failed at life. It isn't that complicated. Instead of trying to trick someone into going out with you, ask them if they want to go out with you, and when they say no, you move on, respect their decision, and proceed to put 3 hours worth of makeup on your face as you trick yourself into thinking you know more about men because Chad porked you in the men's room of a dingy club 3 years ago. But this isn't about respecting people. This is about getting what you want without any regard for the respect and dignity of anybody else. But that's because you only view yourself as a person. Everyone else is just a service provider that you apparently have to trick into providing you with anything.
There's a norm of reciprocity in human beings that people will often return to if they're uncomfortable. Plus, it makes you seem like you're offering a compromise because you make them feel guilty. I've used this if I want someone to tell me something. I'll ask them something more personal at first, and then I say, don't worry about it, you don't have to tell me. Why don't you just tell me about this instead? Work smarter, not harder. You know what I mean? You're welcome.
You blew it. Fish.
If you're in a situation where you have to use this kind of toxic manipulation into getting men to spend time with you, then you really need to ask yourself, why are you wasting this much time on men who clearly want nothing to do with you outside of the bedroom? If you have to resort to psychological abuse in order to get something out of someone, then that just shows what kind of person you are, and from the looks of it, I have seen old cheeseburger wrappers from the 1970s with more value. At least the cheeseburger wrapper from the 1970s actually served a purpose in its tenure, and it won't have to trick me into doing something I really don't want to do. And more importantly, the cheeseburger wrapper from the 1970s will never judge me, and I never have to tell it to shut up. I think we need to take a second to give the cheeseburger wrapper from the 1970s its proper respect. Cheeseburger wrapper from the 1970s, we salute you.
Gentlemen, I'm going to give you the secret sauce on how to win over any woman. Ladies, let me know what you think. Keyword here is woman, by the way. I'm talking about someone who actually wants to find someone that loves and cares for them. Alright, so let me set the scene here. You've been on a date or two with this girl and you decide you really like her and you kind of want to make sure that you don't lose her. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to give her a call, or a text, or a FaceTime, whichever one she prefers. And you're going to say, I would love to see you again. Listen, Thursday looks good for me. How's that for you? Here's the next step. You're not going to take her to a dinner, or a restaurant, or a movie, or something boring. I want you to go online right now. You're gonna look up summer activities in your city. There are so many things to do for free in your city that you probably don't even know about that are super cool during the summer. This could be a movie in the park, a music festival, an art installation, whatever it is, just pick one.
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
Okay, I think we can all agree she's not talking to average men who are somehow able to get a date in today's society. I think it's safe to say she's talking about the Chads she's diluting herself into thinking to actually want her for something serious. Can we all agree to that? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Alright, the ayes have it. We're agreeing that this woman is trying to give Chad advice. Which reminds me, gentlemen and gents, don't let me forget, I gotta get in touch with Skeeter's gavel guy because I misplaced my parliamentary procedure hammer again. Alright, that's neither here nor there. Woman, this is completely worthless advice. Because if Chad calls you for a date and invites you out for a night of top ramen and grain alcohol, you'll find it to be the most uniquely romantic gesture to ever exist in the history of humans. If you are truly interested in a man, you're going to be more interested in spending time with him instead of the activities he has planned for you. But that's not what we're talking about here. You just want this man to put in work to give you things to do. And that's too much work for too little payoff.
Now, while you're on this date, I need you to do something that's very difficult for most men. You're going to listen to her. I know.
That's racist!
She says that she likes to fish. Take mental note. She says she likes nature. Mental note. She likes fruits. Mental note. Shit, you can even write it into your notes app if you want. She likes dancing. Mental note. Find a little nugget of something that she said that she really likes, and base your next date around what she said. She told you she loves music? Take her to a jazz concert. Trust me, just the fact that you listened to her and then applied the thing that she said, my man, you're in a good spot.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Lady, it's not that men don't listen. It's that they don't listen the way you want them to listen. I.e., they can't read your mind and fulfill your fantasies. Let's say that she does like music and you take her to a jazz show. What she really wanted was front row seats to Taylor Swift. She says she likes fishing, but what she really meant is she likes all expenses paid trips to the Caribbean. It doesn't matter if he listens or not because she will always find a way to accuse him of screwing it up. And it's awfully rude of you to say that we don't listen when you refuse to even acknowledge that dating is a two-way street. Are you listening to what we like and the things that we enjoy doing? Of course not. You're too busy trying to get this man to provide you with things to alleviate your boredom because you're incapable of entertaining yourself. And the best part is, no matter what happens, it is never, ever your fault. It's always the men because for some reason, men are just incapable, incompetent little oafs that need to be trained by a woman who hasn't been on a legitimate date in at least 4 years.
In come the romantic gestures. Every woman loves romantic gestures. They don't have to be over the top. So you're walking on the street. I hope I don't have to tell you that you're closer to the cars than she is. And you pass this bush of wildflowers. Squat down, pick one up. Hand it to her. I promise you she's gonna cheese. I promise. Are you guys always sharing music with each other? Create a shared album on Spotify. And tell her, I thought this would be a cool way for us to share music with each other. Essentially, do the things that she says she likes.
I wish I could help you here, but I just don't want to. Ah!
Alright, if we're walking down the street and we see a random bush of wildflowers, I am definitely not picking one. That is destruction of property and potential theft, and I'm not about to risk having to explain to myself in front of a magistrate about how I was trying to woo a woman who didn't even like the stupid flower that I gave her. And I'm not about to share my taste in music with you because I don't need you talking smack about Guided by Voices, nor do I feel the need to listen to your endless encyclopedia of K-pop. You've bypassed the point of dating, and now you're just telling men that they have to make you feel good at the expense of his own wants, needs, or desires. You don't even mention the feelings of men in anything, and you think we're so stupid that we can't figure out any of this for ourselves. We know all of this crap, we just don't bother because there's no real point.
She's gonna feel seen, she's gonna feel heard. And then on top of this, you're going to compliment her at least one time every time you see her. If you notice something different about her, maybe her hair looks a little bit lighter, or her eyebrows look extra clean and sharp. She looks a little tanner. Be like, wow, your eyebrows look really great today. Chances are she got her eyebrows done. If you can't figure anything out, wow, you are so beautiful. I love it when a man calls me beautiful. You do all these things, she's gonna fall in love. And if she doesn't, that's not the one for you. Move on, because that's not your person. Ladies, what do you think?
No, sir, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's not happening, sister. That is a classic booby trap. There are so many things that can go wrong with that by even going near it. We're risking setting off a thermonuclear landmine with something like that. It is a classic setup for dramatic failure. Whether we notice the things or not, it ends the same way with you claiming that we don't care about you for some arbitrary reason. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't receive compliments, but come on, that is a two-way street and you know it, sister. If you want a man to be interested in you, you have to give him reasons to be interested. And those are things you're clearly not doing. It's all about what the men can do for you, what he must provide for you in order for you to be interested. But none of that work is even worth it if you're not even going to provide the minimum amount of respect. We're not responsible for making your life a movie, sweetheart. We're too busy living ours.
I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.
I need somebody to explain to me what is happening right now with the man versus bear in the woods, whatever the question was. I haven't even seen the videos of these men responding and being offended, but I have seen other women's videos explaining what they saw about these men's videos and how defensive they are about it. I'm trying to understand, like, what is wrong with men today? First of all, we already don't feel safe around men. That's the whole point of the we would rather be with the bear. I would rather be with the bear for a million reasons, but let me tell you, I think it's very clear why women don't want to be around men. I just have a question for the men out there. Like, have y'all looked at the news? Like, have you ever seen stories of men being raped by women on the streets just because they went out on a run in the morning or they decided to go on a walk at night? I'm not saying that maybe that story doesn't exist out there, but I'm willing to bet $1 million that there's like 95% of the stories are men doing that to women.
I must have missed 60 minutes. What are you saying?
Actually, I'm not all that offended at the notion that you choose the bear. In fact, I'm at the point where if you want to evoke an emotional response from me, you actually have to choose the man. I couldn't care less what you choose because it doesn't come from a place of rational thought. You just choose the bear because you think it gets a rise out of us. I mean, you said it yourself. You have no idea what the reactions are from men because you didn't even bother looking them up. You're taking the word of other women. Now, in answer to your question, yes, I have seen the news. And yes, I have seen the crime statistics. And though it's tragic, you are forcing a small percentage onto an entire population of men who have done literally nothing wrong. And at least if something bad happens to you at the hands of a man, you'll get some form of justice or at least some form of support. If a man gets assaulted by a woman, there's about a 50-50 chance he's gonna get laughed out of the police precinct, and that's because we live in a society where you're always the victim and the man is either the perpetrator or he's not masculine. What a world, am I right?
Not the other way around. We don't feel safe, period. It's very unfortunate. It's also the fact that there are a ton of men out there where they might see something bad happening to a woman out in public, and not all of them, but some of them won't even do anything about it. They might just look the other way and turn around because they are also scared of what will happen to them as a man to interact with the other crazy, angry man because they're scared of that man. Like, men are afraid of men.
What?
Okay, I'm kind of confused here. Do you honestly think we just walk around crime-ridden parts of cities and just ignore crimes against women? Do you honestly think that's a thing? Like, crimes against women are so commonplace that we just ignore them? Most of us try to stay out of trouble to begin with. Like, even if that wasn't the case, what exactly do you want us to do? We're not about to become superheroes, and even if we did, you'd still call the cops on us. There was a man in New York City who did witness a crime against a woman, and he protected her with a firearm, and she still pressed charges against him because he didn't protect her in the right way. Hell, there's a woman suing a man right now for performing life-saving CPR when she drowned. So what exactly do you want from us? You're citing incredibly rare circumstances to prove a point that doesn't even exist, and then you're blaming us for not solving the problem you created in your own head. The reason why you choose the painful and undignified death by grizzly is all in your head with numbers you conjured up out of nothing. It's actually kind of fascinating to see how far you're willing to go with this.
I'm sorry, if I'm gonna go, I'd rather get attacked by a bear, hopefully make it alive to tell the story, than to be raped or murdered, something by a man. Absolutely not. There are definitely good men out there, but I'm just very curious for the men who feel so offended by our choice of we would rather be with a bear. Why? Why are you so offended? I honestly feel like if you're offended, you're the problem. You're part of the problem. I have faith that there are definitely men out there who don't care, you're not offended, you totally get it. I think y'all are amazing. I wish there were more men out there like you. But to those of y'all that are offended, enlighten me. Why?
Let's do this.
Alright, lady, well, since you asked, I guess you deserve some form of an answer. Alright, so here it is. I'm not offended that you chose the bear. You're stupid, so of course you choose the bear. And I'm not offended that you don't feel safe around me. I'm not a Chad. Few men are, and that comes with the territory. If I actually had to pick one thing to take offense, it would be your blanket assumption that I'm a sociopath. I take offense with the idea that me, a man that you don't know from anyone else, is just automatically a violence for pleasure-seeking psycho who's assaulting women when he's not getting away with it in the court system. I take offense over the fact that you think because I'm not proving that I'm not a criminal by partaking in vigilante justice, which is a literal crime by the way, that I'm no better than the true monsters out there. And I take offense that you look at me and immediately place blame on me for the crimes of men that I have never met a day in my life. But most importantly, I take offense over the fact that because of your addiction to true crime dramas, you feel the need to force an innocent bear to deal with your bullshit. And as the sun sets on another successful episode from Lock the Bounty Hunter, we gotta take a second to say thank you to the members of the Bounty Board for helping to make this video possible. Gentlemen of the Bounty Board, thank you for your support. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon. For the low price of $5 a month, you get access to exclusive content, a permanent producer credit, as well as a personalized shout out from yours truly. And of course, you can always support the channel by liking and subscribing to the channel, sharing this video, leaving plenty of comments. Trust me, there is more than one good way to give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.